being an athlete is so much more than just yourself. It's about the story that you're telling and the story that you want to leave behind. Guatsiopa, Guachanachichan, Shrutsanahanuk Seta, Sashir Shruka. My name is Shruka, which means magpie in our language. I'm a professional soccer player of the NWSL for the OL Reign here in Tacoma, Washington. I am an Indigenous woman. I am part Pueblo, Navajo, and Black. I'm here today to work on Kyrie's new shoe. Really admire him as an athlete, but I think that it was when I became the first Native American player in the NWSL, I had a lot more responsibility than just being an athlete. And I think with Kyrie, it's just really inspiring and motivating to see him so committed to not only the things that are important to him on the court, but all of the things and aspects of his life off the court. His journey with his Indigenous roots and rediscovering that is something that I really relate to. There's a difference between being raised in a certain culture and having that just as your inherent identity, as opposed to having to reclaim it later in your life. For a lot of Indigenous people, we've had to leave our home, our culture, and our families, and put certain parts of ourselves on pause in order to go chase our dreams. And I was already thinking about the importance of reclaiming that identity and reclaiming those parts of myself. And to see that somebody can achieve so much at a high level and still have this internal journey that is continuous and changing and morphing into different things is something that is just refreshing. I want to incorporate little bits of my culture and identity into the shoe. And the color scheme that I was kind of thinking of came from this traditional belt. It was from my godparents. It just has these really bright colors that you wouldn't think would go together. I think a lot of the N7 designs pay a lot of respects to the Plains Indians, and I think it's what makes Indigenous culture so beautiful is that there's so many different backgrounds. A Plains Indian is so different than a Pueblo, than a Navajo, and that's something that's so beautiful because we all have different stories. And loved this idea of just, having the storytelling aspect being something that's visible on the shoe. Kyrie and I have a very interesting connection because we come from multi-layered backgrounds. Our identity in being Indigenous is not something that happens in a vacuum. Being Indigenous is not one definition for us. And so I think that's something really unique because for a lot of American Indians, being Indigenous and seeing yourself just means a lot of different things. My personality, I want that big, bright color. And so there is a way to visually pay respect to our culture and make it mainstream and put it on a shoe. Star quilt pattern, I tried to do it without it. And when I did that, I said, it just looks like another shoe. The person that I want to be wearing it is somebody who wants to be proud of the culture and the heritage that they come from. Or if they don't come from that heritage, they're like, look at these dope sneakers I've got. I'm definitely excited to wear these. I think they're going to look sick. I hope everybody else likes them too.